Oh, we are live, live. And Snoke is with the cool stroke. Yes. Give me What are you talking about, Safari? Yeah, situations arise, situations fall down by the wayside. It is what it is. But when it comes to Star Wars, something was made very weirdly as Collins did for episode 9 did not coexist with episode 8 and what we just saw. Hold on one second. Oh, it's like this. No, they had a whole different philosophy of what they wanted to do for episode 9. Luke Skywalker was supposed to live and was supposed to be in episode 9. Colin Trevorrow wanted Luke Skywalker to be alive in episode 9. He had plans on where he thought Luke should go. His vision coexisted with how Luke saw character was as being a positive reinforcement of the Force. And he wasn't as pessimistic, and he was always looking towards the horizon. He was very optimistic. And that's how Colin seen him. He had Luke being a very powerful, not just with the Force, but intelligent and smart, not just broken down the way Ryan Johnson saw Luke being. And Colin did not have Snoke dead. Yeah, Luke didn't like him dying either. Well, Mark Hamill didn't like Luke dying either in the film. The thing is, Snoke was supposed to have a very big reveal in episode 9. He wasn't supposed to die either. His betrayal by Kylo Ren was just a part of it. And in episode 9, it was going to be a huge reveal about the history of the Skywalkers, about their bloodline. Snoke was going to inform them of what they didn't know in episode 9. We didn't get that, or we still might get a piece of that, but now they made a change while filming this movie, that they made a change in episode 8, that they were going and leaning towards the demise of Luke Skywalker, which Mark Hamill had a problem with. He had a problem with the direction of where they were going with him. And then he had to realize, like, look, this is not my Luke Skywalker, it's theirs. They're loaning me Luke. So how I see Luke is not even important. They're paying me a check. So but he definitely didn't want to have Luke, the character Luke Skywalker, just die. It just didn't make any sense to him. Um, Cullen's movie was more action packed with Luke using the Force, not really using a lightsaber, which a lot of the scenes, like in this one, just for the one scene Luke did when he was fighting with Rey, he didn't want to do it himself. They wanted Luke himself to learn the moves, even though they say, yeah, we'll bring in a stunt double for a couple of scenes, but some scenes we want them to show your face. So you need to learn some moves. There are not a lot of moves. Luke really didn't want to do that either. He's just like, look, get the stunt double. I'm 60 something years old, dude. I'm not a, I'm not gonna be able to sword fight anymore and be in a whole battle with someone. So once again, they figured out a way and it worked out better because it did work better that you could see Luke's face in the scene, and the fact that this is the first movie where there was never really any lightsaber on lightsaber action. If you saw the hologram, spoiler alert for everybody who didn't see The Last Jedi. Sorry about that. It made sense to me that Luke is gone. Because what they're trying to do is move people past the old characters. You got to get past the Landos, the Hans, the Leias. Everybody got to go. This thing evolves. This thing, you got to get past Chewie. Even though Chewie and R2D2 and C3PO, they going to be there forever. But they're dying out. Like in this film, R2D2 was there for 5 minutes. They got new droids, new toys, new everything. So it's like, hey, we're going to introduce you, then we're going to throw you in the back. Chewie, we're going to have you yell a couple times, then we're going to throw you in the back. We got to get new characters because everybody loves something new. But when you do something new, you can't do something so nostalgic that's the only strike I have really with Ryan is that he was too nostalgic with dialogue. It's got to be like how it was in the original trilogy. And it's like, come on, I understand, paying homage to something in a movie, but we can't have a whole movie based on fandom. This sometimes that's where you run into a problem when you have directors who was a fan of the franchise. They lose that connection that they have with their actual talent of just making films. They go to making something that they love and they want to make sure it's in their vision. But there's a lot of people in the room that got them right off on this. And Kathleen, she really loved this film. She loved the direction, and they did a great job with it. So to be a super fan of it, he was able to grab what people wanted to see and like about Star Wars, which was the actual Star Wars. So they start off with an epic battle in space. Something we really didn't get in the space battle. We really didn't get that in Force Awakens with J.J. Abrams' film. So now Colin's out, JJ's back in because JJ and Ryan gets along very well. So now that he's handing JJ this product, because JJ Abrams didn't like Mark Hamill either. Let's get this right away. He didn't like, oh God, it's like bumping heads. These two did not get along. The whole thing, JJ and Mark Hamill did not. They butted heads. Mark Hamill butted heads with Ryan Johnson. Of course, that was more bigger than the JJ situation. But people forgot him and JJ bumped heads. He definitely had a whole different approach about Luke Skywalker. Why do you think he wasn't in episode when Force Awakens? He shows up at the end. only, with no words, no dialogue. J.J. Abrams, like, he's got to go. You deal with him. I just need him for one scene at the end for about 2 minutes. Then no words, no nothing, no dialogue. Because Mark Hamill, what JJ always do is he asks, for people's opinion. He respects people coming up with opinions on what they think about the character and everything. He welcomes that, but he don't mean literally. Do you challenge him on every single thing? So Mark Hamill was like, "Yes, I do have a problem with this script." So Mark Hamill had a lot to say, a lot to say. He felt in The Force Awakens. I don't know if you guys seen The Force Awakens, but if you're watching this video, you should have seen The Force Awakens. He's seen The Force Awakens, then you would know that Mark Hamill said, towards the end, he felt that when they went to get, when Han was killed, that Leia or Chewie or anybody or himself, that's when Luke should have appeared. When the lightsaber came out of the snow and popped in the air and went to somebody, instead of it going to Rey, it should have went to Luke. That would have brought Luke back into the storyline. He said that would have made more sense. He's like, Han being killed in front of Rey and Finn. It's like, and they're like, no. And it's like, why would they care? They just met him for like what, 45 minutes ago? They only been knowing this guy for a couple of hours. Why would they be so torn? It doesn't make sense. If Han was killed in front of Leia and Luke, it would make more sense because they have known this guy for many years. So again, they argue and they said, okay, well, the lightsaber goes into the hands of Rey. He says, okay, it goes into the hands of Rey. She beats Kylo Ren, and she's never held a lightsaber before in her life. It doesn't make any sense. So that's why Luke and J.J. Abrams, they butted heads right away. So it went from him having dialogue to just saying, we're just gonna have you appear at the end. And when you watch the film, and only when Mark Hamill watched the film did he say, okay, I get it now. It does make sense if you do it in this, that my reveal would be in the second movie. It built a lot of tension between, people like really waiting and couldn't wait to see the second film. So now they're bringing back JJ because Colin was upset with the direction of what Ryan was doing. And he was basically feeding Mark all this stuff. So Mark's like, I don't know what he did with Kathleen, but whatever he did or said or whatever. And Colin Trevorrow had made a lot of money with Jurassic World. And he definitely got an ego on his shoulder. He came in fast, made a whole lot of money. So you can't really control him. And because you can't control him, the attitude, the arrogance is there. So now that the arrogance is there, you got to deal with that. Yeah. So when they had Snoke in, because we never really knew Snoke's identity, Snoke was not to be killed in this film. He was going to die in episode 9 because he was supposed to do a reveal to tell the secret of the Skywalker. He know the Skywalker's history beyond Darth Vader, where he comes from, everything. And he knows about Rey. and everything. It's gonna all come together. And there's a reason why at the mirror she only sees herself when she's looking for the answer of who her parents is, and she can only see herself. And it keeps telling her herself, herself, herself. And then it's gonna find out that the people that were said to be her parents are not really her parents. She thinks they were her parents. But Ray supposedly is a clone. And Snoke was supposed to tell her. Kylo always was gonna kill, he was gonna be the one to kill Snoke. That was always gonna be the way. Rey doesn't have a mother and father. She was created in a lab where they made the clones. She is a clone. See, the cloning system had been shut down and they banned all clones. So during the period when the Empire ended, there was no more clones anymore. Remember, they mentioned it in The Force Awakens that maybe that they should go back to the system of clones. They've been going around just stealing children and putting them in their military forces and training them. That's how they got Finn. He was kidnapped and stolen from his home as a child. This was Snoke's system as he felt the clones were flawed because they all came from a flawed line. But if you read the Star Wars books, you would know that Darth Vader's DNA was used to try to make him an army. And he had to, and then they were just so, his DNA was just so strong that when they made the Vader clones, a lot of them had force abilities, but they were unpredictable. And they all end up having to try to fight Darth Vader and rage. They tried to link up to kill Vader, and Vader had to slay them all one by one. And they decided that having a clone trooper with Vader's DNA is just too risky and too dangerous. It's too much power to contain. She's either a clone of the Emperor or a clone of Darth Vader's DNA, which would make her a Skywalker also in the bloodline. And explain why her and Kylo Ren they are connected because she's more powerful than Kylo Ren with the Force, and she's going to have more knowledge than Kylo Ren in the Force now that she has the Jedi books. She has the Jedi text with her. So her powers will only become great. But we were going to know more about Snoke in the later movies, not in out of these three. That's the way Cullen wanted to do it. And Snoke wasn't going to die. He was going to be betrayed by Kylo Ren but he was going to survive this attack. It was going to appear to be dead, but he had found his way back, as his identity was not even Supreme Leader Snoke. His identity was still unrevealed to the public. But now they just brought him in and killed him so mercilessly. JJ might follow. Oh, Snoke was great. He was sinister. He was great. His problem was they just couldn't get where they needed to keep him. He needed to be front line and center, and he couldn't be front line and center. They didn't allow him to be. Yes, Snoke dialogue was awesome. He kept it mad real. Yes, he did keep it mad real. Too real for some. But will they find a way to bring Snoke back as a Force ghost or whatever? Can't wait to find out more about Snoke, as he made and suffered the same fate as the Emperor. Well, it was the person he was meant to become anyway. You didn't get nothing from Snoke. Snoke was great. This was the first Star Wars that actually had a scene that went backwards, where they showed things from the past, so other Star Wars films didn't do that. They never had those flashback scenes. Well, I hope so. What's up, Kyrie? You guys come at the tail end of it. Yeah, we got some videos coming today on the main page. So just get ready for that. Anyway, I'm out. Thank you guys for tuning in today. It did. It fit with the movie. Ryan Johnson is a movie director. He set it up the way it was supposed to go down. So to have those, if without those flashback scenes, you wouldn't have been able to piece together what was going on. You needed to see it. You had three different perspectives on what happened Then you got the, you can make your decision on how Kylo saw Luke's betrayal in his eyes. He saw Luke as a mean person ready to strike him down, and he had to defend himself, and that pushed him more to the dark side. And then Luke's portrayal, how he saw it, is as he went to confront him. He didn't even have the lightsaber in his hand. That's how he saw it when he was telling the story. Then the actuality of what happened is the last one scene that you see. And then you see Kylo Ren burning everything down. And it takes a conversation from Yoda to bring some perspective. So, yeah, I know. It was pretty incredible. So, on that note, I'm out saying stay blessed. Deuces.